Why do people still listen to Future? I think there are several reasons. He created a sound instead of following one. There are artists who make hit songs. Then there are artists who change music. Future belongs in the second group. You can hear pieces of his influence across modern hip-hop, R&B, and melodic rap. This is giving Future his flowers, because if I don't do it, who else gonna do it? If I don't do it, who else gonna do it? Who else gonna give a fuck enough to give Future his flowers? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna leave it to them. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna take on that responsibility. So this is that. I'll let you enjoy. Another reason why people are still listening to Future is that he's emotionally honest. People joke about Future's lyrics. Underneath the memes is someone constantly talking about depression, loneliness, addiction, paranoia, success, betrayal. And those are all things that are relatable, that we all have to experience one time or another with different peoples and places that we're in, right? Those things don't go away. They stay relatable. He is incredibly consistent. Very few artists stay relevant for 14 plus years. Future has remained part of the conversation through changing eras of streaming, social media, and musical trends. His music fits different moods. One day someone plays Future because they're celebrating. And then the next day, they play him after a heartbreak. The same catalog works for both. Few artists have that range. He rarely chases trends. Yeah, because he developed the trends. You don't go chasing trend when you make the trend. What would I look like chasing the trend if I made a whole genre of the trend? Like I'm him, right? Future adapts without sounding like he's copying younger artists. Instead, younger artists often end up sounding like him. Before he was Future was born Nevadius Zeman Wilbert in Atlanta, Georgia. Before becoming a solo artist, he was part of the Dungeon family, orbits his cousin, Rico Wade. Being around experienced writers and producers taught him to think of songs as complete records rather than just verses. Unlike many rappers who came up battling, Future learned in an environment that valued songwriting, melody, and arrangement. He writes from emotion and not just rhyme. One thing producers consistently say is that Future doesn't usually begin with intricate punchlines. Instead, he starts with a feeling, a mood, a melody, a cadence. Many of his songs began as him humming or mumbling melodies before any final lyrics exist. This approach is common amongst artists like Young Thug and Lil Wayne, but Future helped make it a defining part of modern trap music. The mumble stage. Future has talked about recording what fans call the mumble version first. Flute out. Those sounds establish rhythm, emotion, flow, and melody. Only after does he replace many of those sounds with finished lyrics. That's why even when listeners can't understand every word, they often understand the emotion. Freestyle over writing. Future has said he rarely sits down with a notebook. Instead, the beat plays. He records ideas immediately, punches in line after line, builds the song as inspiration comes. Many producers have described him as incredibly fast in the studio. Some records repeatedly came together in under an hour. So he has the melody first, and unlike traditional rappers who prioritize bars, Future often thinks like a singer. He asks, how does this sound? Before, how clever is the lyric? That's why songs like Cocaine Crazy, Mask Off, March Madness, Wait For You are memorable even if they don't rely on dense wordplay. The melodies carry the emotion. Repetition is intentional. People sometimes criticize Future for repeating phrases. That's actually a part of his songwriting style. Instead of telling a linear story, he'll repeat a line until it becomes almost hypnotic. For example, repeating a hook, repeating a confession, repeating an emotion. It mimics obsessive thoughts or emotional cycles. A lot of what makes us feel what we feel when we listen to songs. For example, I could be driving, right? It was driving in a car, taking a long ride, right? And I think that for me, I'll just use me as an example. When I'm taking a long drive and I'm in a car, first thing I do is have my smoke. Second thing I do is have me a good playlist because I use that time to unwind. And when I'm driving, I'm listening to the music, and the music, if I'm having, especially like if I'm having a bad day, the music helps like put me in a better headspace. It helps clear my mind where I'm thinking about remembering the lyrics of the song and I'm not thinking about whatever it is that's on my mind. So that's what music does for me, especially when I'm having an incredibly hard time with dealing with something. I just listen to whatever my favorite music is at the time, and I use that time to, get like all of my feelings and emotions out. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I laugh, sometimes I just get really excited for no reason at all. No, I don't have nothing planned. I ain't got nothing. I'm not going nowhere. But I feel better because I'm listening to this song that puts me instantly in like this mood, right? So when we think about, one of the reasons why I think that music is so powerful is because it has the ability to transform you. And part of that is kind of like encoding. With the repetition, it kind of puts you in this trance mood. So that's what I get from that anyway. Recording dozens of songs. Future is known for recording far more music than he releases. Producers have said sessions can produce 10 to 20 songs, multiple hooks, alternate verses. We're choosing the strongest material. That's one of the reasons why he maintains such a prolific catalog over more than a decade. Why auto-tune matters? Now, in the time that we live in, I think that just because a person doesn't have like a voice to sing, they may have a passion for music and a passion for singing. And part of being ingenuitive and being like just going after your dreams, I'm not saying that everybody's gonna make it, because everybody don't make it. Everybody don't make it. But a persistent person that works on their craft, that wants to do something that they feel like they may have limitations on, they will create avenues that will put them in the place where they want to be at. They don't have they don't have everything that they need from the store, right? But they go looking, and they go looking for a solution, and sometimes that solution is auto-tune. Maybe you can't hold a whole note, but you have something that can carry you over. Now, that's more of a studio artist, because You know, preferably, whenever you doing a live show, you don't have auto-tunes. Now, is auto-tunes a part of concerts? Very much so. Very much so. Especially the past few shows that I've been to, some type of application of auto-tune was there while they were performing. But that doesn't mean that person doesn't have what it takes to become a star, doesn't have what it takes to become a good artist. It just means that they have a passion for this for whatever reason, whatever is their driving motivation for being an artist. They are artists, and they know that one of the tools that they can use that's in their toolbox is autotunes to help carry them through that note. So even if they have to perform in the stage and they need autotunes for it, well then they'll work on that. But there are different tricks. There are definitely different tricks that artists use. And one I just became privy to was, so what I've heard, I'm not going to say that this is the gospel, that this is 100%, but this is what I've heard. When Beyonce has a show, she goes and records a version of that in the venue that she's in. So let's say she is in Madison Square Garden. She have a show at Madison Square Garden. She will go and record that version like before the show even starts. So she has that version. So then when you come to the concert, she don't really have a backing track. She don't have a backing track. The entire track is recorded. And if she is overexerted, then that version that she recorded has the same acoustics as it would have if she was already performing in there. And she don't have to work as hard. So in singing, of course, she'll be able to move around, dance, and perform how she needs to perform without sounding like she's winded, without sounding like she's exerting extra energy. So those are just tools of the trade, right? Does it mean that you can't sing? No, it just means that you're intuitive and you have different tools in your toolbox to get you through. That's what you gotta do, man. But Future has said autotune isn't about hiding his voice. It's another instrument. See what I mean? He uses it to stretch notes, to emphasize pain, create atmosphere, and blur the line between rapping and singing. Without autotune, many of his melodies wouldn't have the same emotional texture. His biggest influence, and that's to say, Future is a very prolific writer. Even before all of the mumble rap, all of the trap music, he was writing. He's been a writer. So I think that's why he can always create a song, create a hook, create a melody, create whatever, and it'd be a wave, because this is what he does. It's in his DNA at this point. One of Future's greatest strengths is writing from contradictions. The same song he may sound confident and insecure, rich but lonely, successful but paranoid, and surrounded by people yet isolated. That emotional conflict is a part of why listeners connect with his records like Cocaine Crazy and Throwaway. Before him, many rappers focused on complex rhyme schemes and punchlines. Future showed that melody, atmosphere, repetition, and emotional honesty could be just as powerful. His style helped influence a generation of artists, including Lil Baby, Gunna, Roddy Ricch, and even artists outside of trap, who embrace melodic, emotional-driven songwriting. So one thing that I would say after listening to this current album that he just dropped, it reminds me so much of Hendrix. It reminds me of Hendrix from the critiques that people have for it, but also the chances that he took and the different experimental songs that he has tried. Hendrix was a lot like that. So Hendrix came out in 2017. Future had just done something unprecedented. He released Future, hard-hitting trap album, then 1 week later completely surprised everyone with Hendrix. Nobody expected it. People assumed they'd get another DS2 like Dirty Sprite 2. Instead, they got an album filled with singing, live instruments, slower tempos, emotional confession, heartbreak, and vulnerability. It was the first time many casual fans realized, wait, Future can actually sing. Songs like My Collection, Use Me, Fresh Air, Sorry, Solo felt closer to R&B than trap. What made Hendrix revolutionary, it wasn't just the sound. It was the willingness to be vulnerable. Instead of him saying, I'm him, he started saying, I'm hurting. That was a huge shift. Future always had hinted at pain. Cocaine Crazy is a good example. But Hendrix put the emotional front and center. The real me, I don't hear Future trying to reinvent himself. Sonically, the way he did on Hendrix, instead, I hear him asking what parts of every version of Future actually belong together. This album feels like a synthesis. It pulls from Monster, Dirty Sprite 2, Hendrix, and I Never Liked You, rather than abandoning one for another. Both albums have something in common. They're less interested in making club records and more interested in showing the person behind the persona. That's why I think the comparison works. Both albums ask, who is Future when the cameras are off? Production on Hendrix. The production leaned towards dreamy synthesis, guitars, slower drums, and atmospheric pads. It almost floated. On The Real Me, the production is more diverse. You hear trap, soul influences, experimental textures, melodic records, and darker records. Less one-dimensional. Strictly Hendrix, I'm dealing with failed relationships. The Real Me is I'm looking at my whole life. And that's a subtle part, but important difference. One album is relationship focused. The other feels broader. Fame, trust, identity, legacy, success, and isolation are the themes of The Real Me. Biggest similarity, though, are both albums ignore expectations. Future has built a career on refusing to stay in one lane. And when people wanted Dirty Sprite 2, he made Hendrix. When people wanted another I Never Liked You, he released the album with no features and titled it The Real Me. That suggests he wasn't chasing the softest commercial formula. Hendrix was the first time Future pulled back the curtains and showed listeners the man behind the Pluto persona. Nearly a decade later, The Real Me feels like the next chapter in that conversation, not because it abandons trap for R&B, but because it continues to search for the identity. Hendrix explored heartbreak and vulnerability. The Real Me reflects on a broader life shaped by fame, loyalty, isolation, and success. Both albums reveal an artist are more interested in being understood than simply repeating what already worked. This doesn't sound like Future trying to make another Dirty Sprite 2 or Monster. It sounds like Future trying to explain who he is after years of being called toxic. Yeah, it's toxic, detached, and emotionally unavailable. The title alone, The Real Me, signals a more personal framing, even if the music still sits firmly in his trap lane. The Biggest Gamble. This album has 22 tracks, no guest features, first solo album in 4 years, production from Pharrell, Southside, Weezy, ATL Jacob, TM88, DJ Spence, FNS, Dre Moon, Simi, and others. No Drake, no Travis Scott, no Young Thug, no features at all. That's a statement. Future is essentially saying, if you're listening because of me. And I feel like that is so important, because when you have an artist like Future that being heavily into doing features, like at one time, if you didn't have a Future feature, your shit was not about to be popping. Like it's got to a point to where it's either if Drake is not on your song or Future not on your song and you a brand new artist, can we trust you? Are you a good artist? Is the music gonna be good? Cause why you make I wanna make features? But at the same time, that comes with trade-offs. It often comes with trade-offs where it seems as if sometimes you have to sell your soul, or you have to succumb to whatever it is that people want from you. You know what I mean? And then you can't make the decisions to be on your own because you're heavily relying on another person. And if you fall out with that person, then you don't have that sound no more. And now you're starting to question, am I good? Am I good enough just me? Am I good enough for me being just me to sell this album? Do I have to have a feature to sell an album? And with the growing tensions in hip hop media and all the like, it's a more responsible and it's a more smart move to just have an album that you know, good, bad, or indifferent, it's all you, and you're not relying on anybody else. So you can't say, no one can say, well, his entire career, it was, all he did was do features and people did features for him and that's how he got on. And then it lends itself to, I put you on. I got you hot. I did this for you. No, you did. I'm Future. I did this shit without. And now he has the receipts to prove it. Now he has every reason to prove it because he showed you. I don't need that nigga. You know what I mean? That confidence alone has become one of the biggest talking points surrounding the album. Production. One thing that stands out is there are a variety of producers. Usually, Future leans heavily into one sonic lane. Here are producers known for very different sounds. Pharrell is a minimal and experimental. Southside is dark trap. Weezy is more melodic. ATL Jacob, TM88, DJ Spence, they're all different types of producers. That combination gives a record a broader palette while still sounding recognizably like Future. And all of those producers, he's worked with before. Like, he has relationships with, he worked with before. So it's not like these producers are learning Future to just feed him beats or whatever. I like that. I feel like all of those beats were created just for him and just for the sound that he went for on The Real Me. there are so many different styles and types of beats on The Real Me. And I think that's one of the things that I liked most about it. That is a whole bunch of different vibes. And it still came into a cohesive body of music. That's what I took from it. You know what I'm saying? Early reactions point to a few recurring ideas. Future becoming isolating, trust issues, success without peace, looking inward instead of just flexing, still embracing luxury but questioning what it actually cost emotionally. He's not abandoning the Pluto persona. He's giving listeners glimpses behind it. So the current commercial strategy that he had behind this album is, I think it was actually smart. Instead of chasing the viral single pack with guest features, he leaned into anticipation, mystery, and his core audience. The only pre-release single was Radio, letting the full album arrive as the main event. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even hear Radio before the album dropped. I didn't hear it. I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional, or my algorithm just didn't feed it to me, but that was the first time I heard it. To be honest with you, to be 100% G, I didn't even know he dropped. And so I was on one of my homies' streams, and he was playing it. He said he wanted to listen to it. And I was like, wait, Future dropped? He's like, yeah, he just dropped. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know. Shit, Auntie getting old, nigga. Auntie is getting old. Auntie is getting old. So another thing that I wanted to hit on is his evolution, because I always talk about evolution of artists, and why not touch on it? Because he did evolve. He definitely did. He definitely did. In 2012, yeah, Pluto. It was a hustle and an ambition that he started with. Then Dirty Sprite 2, Victory and Excess. HNDRXX was Relationship and Vulnerability. I Never Liked You was Emotional Detachment. The Real Me is more, here's who I actually am. And I like that. He didn't evolve every time he had dropped the album. It's certain eras. You know what I'm saying? And I always look at artists by their eras, right? Especially if they've been in the game for a while. They have different eras. Like, you have, I'll give you an example. So Drake had different eras. When he first came out, he was more soft. But he was hungry. And that was a whole era. And then once he started getting a few hits up under his belt, he was more confident. So then that all translated through his music. And then from confident Drake, you got the, oh, bitches like me. Oh, bitches wanna fuck with me, Drake. And now you have the era of Drake that is more, okay, y'all wasn't here for me. I feel like I've been let down by everybody. I feel like I can't trust anybody. I feel like the people that are my core people, they understand who I am, and I'm not trying to please anybody else. I think that's the Drake that we have right now. And so with Future, I think he was grinding. Then when he seen the success for that, he celebrated that. And he's been celebrating ever since. You know what I'm saying? But he'll have a self-reflection moment, and then you'll get a HNDRXX. And then he'll pull back a little bit more. And then he'll detach a little bit more. And then you get I Never Trusted You. You know what I mean? So, you know, the artists will evolve if you allow them to. I think that one of the biggest gripes that people had with Lil Baby, is that he is stuck on the same sound, the same wave, the same vibe, and people got tired of it. So that's why it's even more important to make sure that you do what you can to evolve as an artist, so you don't have to go through that. And if people don't like your shit, it's because they just don't like the new wave. And it's not because you did not experiment or try. You know what I mean? Whether every listener agrees is subjective, like music is subjective. But there is the narrative implied by the title and how the album has been presented. Something I would like to just pose to you, the viewer, the listener. Can someone who's built an entire career on an image ever really show us the real version of themselves? Will you allow them to be that vulnerable? And I'll say one of those types of albums would be Ye. Because Ye was totally different. He was 100% vulnerable. He made music, he made songs, he made statements that people was like, is Kanye okay? But if you were paying attention, Kanye had been yelling from the mountaintops that he's not okay. And no one wants to listen. And then he does something weird, crazy, something that's not socially acceptable. And now you want to listen. And now you want to say, oh, Kanye maybe do got a problem. Maybe we should listen to Kanye to see what he's trying to tell us. The whole time he has been there the whole time. And what I would say also is that for whatever reason, I feel like when my goats, not your goats, because your goats and my goats might be two different people. But when my goats go through a time, it kind of like, I feel like my life mirrors those times. I'll give you an example. Lemonade, I was going through a divorce. I was going through my husband cheating the same time. When Ye dropped Ye, I was going through a depression and I'm bipolar. So I had manic depression really bad. And so when I listen to Ye, it resonates so much with me, bro. And that's why that's my favorite album. Everybody else has their favorite albums. Like, I love all the Dropouts. I love all of Kanye albums. That's not one that I don't like. I fuck with all of them. All of them heavy. All of them equally. But Ye is more meaningful to me because of where I was when I heard it, where I was when it came out, and what it did for me. What it did for me personally. And I also noticed that the album is 58 minutes and 56 seconds long across 22 tracks. So there are plenty of songs to pull examples from without relying on just singles. In 2012, Pluto, Future's debut album, introduced him as more than just another Atlanta rapper. Turn on the Lights, Same Damn Time, Tony Montana, Why It Mattered. People weren't used to hearing someone rap with so much melody. Treating autotune as an effect, Future treated it like another instrument. Today, that's normal. In 2012, it wasn't. 2014, Honest. This album divided fans initially, but has aged incredibly well. It shows Future trying to balance radio success, emotional records, and street records. Songs like Move That Dope proved that he can compete commercially while staying authentic. 2015 Monster Mixtape. Many fans consider this a great project, or his greatest project. Why? Because this came after a very public breakup with Ciara. Instead of hiding from the criticism, he turned heartbreak into music. Songs like Cocaine Crazy and Throwaway are still considered masterpieces because they saw raw rather than manufactured. This mixtape changed how emotional trap music could be. 2015 Beast Mode, a solo project with producer Zaytoven, less flashy, very soulful, and it reinforced Future's consistency. 2015, 56 Nights, one of my favorites. Inspired by producer DJ Esco, being jailed overseas while carrying Future's music. This project added mythology to the Future story. Dark, atmospheric, relentless. And I feel like 56 Nights was in an era of Future where he kind of felt like, this is my perspective, destitute, because there was a whole hard drive worth of music that he had to recreate. That's something you can't get back, especially when you're a freestyler. You're freestyling your music over your beats, and all of that work is now gone. You don't have it written down. You can't recreate the moment. And even if you could recreate the moment, you can't recreate the moment. That's kind of like, for example, for me, if I were to play a game on stream and the only thing that I had was the VOD and my VOD got fucked up, I have to replay this whole game. And how can I replay it the same way I played it the first time? I can't. The only way I would have an authentic, I guess you could say, gameplay of it is when after I play it, some time passes and I forgot the whole everything about how I play the game. And that does happen. Like, I did that recently with the Fierce of Phantoms. So, cause even though I played it before, when I had to replay it was a lot different from when I first played it. You know what I mean? But it kind of felt the same because I forgot the different parts of the game that I liked or I disliked or I couldn't get past. So, you can't recreate stuff, bro. When the moment is there, the moment is there. And when it passes, it passes. And sometimes it passes you by. So I think that it could have been hard on him. And I know it had to be hard on him, as a person. "2015, Dirty Sprite 2. This is probably his most influential album. If someone has never heard Future, I'd start here. So is it your first time, you never heard Future before, start at Dirty Sprite 2. Classic songs include Thought It Was a Drugs, Where You At, Stick Talk, Slave Master, Fuck Up the Commas, nigga. Fuck up some commas. Why it's important. It became the blueprint for modern trap. Nearly every major trap artist after 2015 carries some influence from this album. I mean, just listen to it. Just listen. That's all I'm asking you to do. 2017, Future. Future shocked everyone by releasing 2 #1 albums in consecutive weeks. This one represented confidence, success, street anthems, and aggression. 2017, Hendrix. He completely flipped expectations. Instead of another trap album, he released something much softer. It focused on love, regret, loneliness, relationships. The biggest example, Selfish. Many fans realized Future wasn't just making drug anthems anymore. 2020, High Off Life. Released during the pandemic, included Life Is Good, one of my favorite songs, which became one of the biggest songs of his career. It showed he could still dominate streaming nearly a decade into his career. 2022, I Never Liked You. Another #1 album. Featured Wait For You. Collaborations with Drake and Thames. It earned Future his first Grammy as a lead artist on Wait For You. 2026, The Real Me. Instead of trying to chase trends, Future chose to make an album created on himself. No features, just his perspective. That alone says a lot about where he sees himself in his career. So there are a lot of, like I said, commentary based on this particular album, saying that it is trash, that he is off now, and all of that shit. But this is probably why. It can feel too long. At 22 tracks, some listeners feel the album loses momentum in the middle. Not me. I like every song on there. There's like maybe 2 songs that I don't fuck with on the album, but that's just me. You know what I mean? The criticism isn't that the songs are bad. It's that there are moments where the emotional impact becomes diluted because similar moods and tempos appear back to back. A tight 14 to 16 track version is something some fans have suggested would have made album feel more focused. But at the end of the day, I think that what people are missing in this whole thing is that you don't have to listen to every song. You don't have to like every song. Music is subjective, and it's subject to the person that's listening to it. So with that being said, for something that you don't like, for every song that you don't like, somebody likes. For songs that you like, someone doesn't like. That's how music works. That's why not every song is number one. That's why they have a whole chart system. Because it is the combination of the people that did like the songs, that listened to it, that thought it was good enough. And what I hate about commentary is that people will give something one light listen, and then they're making an entire think piece on why it's trash. You gotta let some music live with you. You have to live with certain songs. You have to live with certain things. And the longer you are listening to it, you go through different emotions. You're going through different phases, and you are, experiencing it. Things will open up for you, and you'll be like, oh, I didn't even think I was gonna like this. Oh, I didn't even like this song at first. That happened with me with Young Dolph. Young Dolph, people like Blueface, people like Sauce Walker. Those artists, that had to grow on me. Because the unorthodox listening to people like that, difficult and uneasy and almost uncomfortable type of listen. But then when you start listening to it more and more and more, it's starting to open up for you. And now you're like, oh, it's not awkward. It's not awkward anymore. I really actually like this. But if you have people in your ear, like commentators, trying to pick apart every song bar by bar, saying that it's not this or it's not that, you don't get that. You don't have an opportunity to get that part because you're going off of what somebody else is saying. Don't take my word. Don't use me as a bias. Listen to yourself, and whatever you get from it is what you get from it, because you're going to live with it. You're the one that's going to have to experience all the different moods and emotions with it, not me, because I'm going to do that on my own. You did. So, the title sets very high expectations for people. Calling the album The Real Me naturally makes listeners expect a deeply revealing project. But deep to who? That is deep for him. That's his depth. If that's not deep enough and you feel like it's too shallow, then that's your interpretation of it. But like I said, music is subjective. Some critics have argued that while Future sounds reflective, he doesn't necessarily answer many new questions about himself, which he doesn't have to. He don't do interviews. Y'all forgot? It's the same Pluto. It's the same Future. He don't do interviews. He don't divulge his business like that. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. But he don't have to play there. Why does that have to change in his music? Why you gotta be all-knowing in his business for him to reflect on his business? He's giving you what he wants you to see. And that's with everybody. That's with everything. But I think people forget that. Instead, they hear familiar themes like trust issues, wealth, women, isolation, drugs, and success. Those topics have been central to Future's music for years, so some listeners expected a more direct self-examination. Whatever. Some fans wanted bigger risks. Ironically, because the title suggests personal growth, some people expected Future to push his sound as dramatically as he did on Hendrix. Instead, the real me largely stays within the sonic world he's built over the last decade. For longtime fans, that's comforting. For others, it feels like a missed opportunity to reinvent himself again. The lack of features is a double-edged sword, though. Having no guest artists makes the album feel cohesive and reinforces that this is his statement. On the other hand, some listeners miss the contrast that collaborators can provide. A feature can change the energy of a song, and after nearly an hour of one voice, some listeners experience a bit of fatigue. Similar subject matter, Future has always written about things that he's always rapped about, so those things are still present. Some viewers have questioned whether the real me adds enough perspective to those conversations, arguing that emotionally it revisits familiar territory rather than breaking new ground. Vocal delivery. Future's vocal style is instantly recognizable, but that also is part of the criticism. Across 22 songs, some listeners feel he leans on familiar cadences and flows, making sections of the album blend together. Fans often hear consistency. Critics sometimes hear repetition. See, fans hear consistency, and critics hear repetition. It invites comparisons to his classics. Whenever Future releases a new album, many listeners inevitably compare it to his projects like Monster 2, DS2, and Hendrix. Those albums are considered classics by many fans. Because of that, the real me faces an exceptionally high bar. Some listeners enjoy it, but others don't view it as reaching yet some cultural impact or innovation as those early releases. The biggest criticism of the real me isn't that Future forgot how to make music. It's that the album asks listeners to believe they're seeing a side of him they've never seen before. For some fans, it delivers that maturity. But for others, it revisits emotions and ideas he's explored throughout his career, making the title feel more ambitious than the revelations themselves. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I was only going for a 20-minute video, and it ended up being an hour. I appreciate you for sticking around to the end of this video. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Experiences through music, we'll be exploring different artists, their different releases, and I'll be giving my critiques or my commentary and my reactions to albums in this type of format so that it won't get copyright strikes, copyrighted, and you can hear every single word of what I have to say in my unique voice. If you enjoy that, subscribe, like this video, hype this video so that I can be put into the algorithm with all your other favorite commentators. In the meantime, in between time, thank you so much for watching. Y'all be easy and stay dangerous, my nigga.